Today we're going to be ranking every gun in Fortnite Season OG. We're going to start things off in our bad tier at place number 25, which is the common to rare pistol. The regular pistol is just kind of the definition of a very low tier weapon. It's something you will pick up at the start of a game if you have to, but you're going to replace this gun with pretty much anything else, and that is why it is the lowest tier. And sure, you can do some decent early game damage with it, but it's just nothing you're going to want to hold on to unless you absolutely have to. Now, the other weapon I've decided to put in the bad tier is the semi-auto sniper. This to me is just kind of everything I don't like in a long-range weapon. I just hate the way it's got this middle-of-the-road damage. Landing a shot with the semi-auto doesn't feel all that satisfying, especially when you consider that landing a shot with the sniper can be kind of hard. So it's kind of similar to the pistol, but for long range. It's the weapon you'll take if you have to, but pretty much anything else that's remotely long range, you're gonna take over it. Now, those are really the only two guns in Fortnite that I consider to be quite bad. So from here, we're gonna move on to the mid tier. Starting at number 23 with the suppressed pistol. Now, this was removed after the first week, but we are covering every single gun that's gonna be in the entire season. And the suppressed pistol, to me, felt only a little better than the pistol. It's something I'll take, I'll pick up, I might combo it with a pump, but I was only gonna do that if I absolutely had to. And the next gun on our list is the 6-shooter, which feels kind of similar. The 6-shooter is situationally kind of decent, and for that reason, I think people rank it higher than it deserves to be. If you are really accurate and you just unload 6 shots into someone point blank, it will do a pretty good job. The problem I think people forget is that, like, yeah, every gun is good at that. You can do that with a submachine gun, you can do that with an assault rifle. You're gonna get a very similar effect. And the 6-shooter is certainly not a horrible gun, but again, it's just one of those options that you're probably going to put a lot lower than most other pickups. Now, at number 21, I'm placing the hunting rifle. Now, this is another weapon that I think has a lot of love, but to me, it fills a very similar role as the semi-auto sniper. It's like a faster shooting sniper that does a low amount of damage, and I just find that very unsatisfying. If I'm landing a crazy snipe, I want it to do a little bit more than this. And sure, its headshot capability is nice, but I just think in reality, you're not going to be landing that many headshots. So for long range weapons, I would definitely take it over a semi-auto sniper, but that's really it. Next up is the light machine gun, which feels a whole lot like the 6-shooter. People like to spray this thing up close, and it makes them think that it's really good. It's fine. Roman disagrees with me. He is a fan of it, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be as well.
Pat has no idea what he's talking about. The LMG is amazing. Look at this. I'm just absolutely causing chaos and obliterating them through the walls. It's so good.
I just always want something with a little bit more accuracy. Sure, it's decent up close. I will admit it's great for suppressing fire, but overall, every time I pick this up, I feel good about it, and then I get in a fight, and I just feel like, oh, I should have just brought a regular assault rifle. I find this weapon just does everything okay. Now, closing out our mid-tier are two weapons that are part of the second half of Season OG. First one we have is the Flint Knock pistol. I gotta be honest that I find this to be a really fun weapon. It feels like a pump in the sense that you get like one really big beefy shot off and then swap to something else. The problem with the Flint Knock is that I just think it's very unforgiving. Like, if you miss the shot, you can't use it anymore, and you're gonna have to use something else pretty much regardless. So I don't know, the fact that like you have to use another gun in unison with this gun, to me is just like the sign of it not being the best. And the final mid-tier weapon at number 18 is the proximity grenade launcher. I don't know how many of you remember this from the old days, years ago. It is an explosive weapon, and that's always going to have some utility, but in terms of the explosive weapons, this is just not it. Now, moving on to our third spot, this is going to take us to the third highest tier, the good tier. First weapon we have here is the hand cannon. So I think the hand cannon plays similar to the hunting rifle and the semi-auto. What I like that the hand cannon provides is just a little more consistency. It's been so long, I forget what the term is, where your sight kind of comes in and then you get perfect accuracy. The hand cannon has that. It's nice. It's not the best weapon, but if I'm looking for something long range and I come across a hand cannon, I'm gonna be pretty satisfied. At 16, we have the minigun, also part of the second half of Season OG. This is a great weapon for laying down suppressing rapid fire. You can kill people with this, for sure. You don't find yourself doing it very often. I think it's much better in a teammate situation. So the minigun provides a lot of utility, and I would call it good. Now, moving on to 15 and 14, we have the regular and suppressed submachine gun. These are just very solid, consistent, but not top-of-the-line weapons. I think most notably, these weapons are good because they're a great combo with the shotgun. You land a big hit, and then you finish up with just some pray and spray. Now, right up after this weapon, I'm gonna throw in the just regular assault rifle. Pretty much at the point of just bread and butter. The assault rifle is not quite a great weapon, but it's just so reliable. Gives you a bit of range. You can use it if you have to up close in place of an SMG. It's in the absolute middle of this list for a reason. It's just a reliable, solid, but not too overly powerful weapon. Number 12 is going to take us into the great tier, and this is the quad launcher. Part of the second half of Fortnite Season OG, this is a weapon that is good, but not the best. Shooting just a bunch of rockets at someone is a pretty effective strategy. I've always found the quad launcher to be a little less effective than I expect it to be. It's good for getting like a 70-point damage off, and that is good, but I think people rate that higher than it is. Like a pump can do the same thing. I like it, but in practice, I just never find it to be quite as useful as the other explosives. And right after that, I'm actually gonna throw in the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher does exactly what the quad launcher does, but better. It does more damage if it hits someone. It can shoot out 6 shots at once, so that's just a little more explosive fire. It's still not the most consistent weapon, but it very much serves a place, and I'm always happy when I pick up a grenade launcher. The double barrel shotgun was added in the second week of Fortnite Season OG, and in my opinion, it is the definition of all or nothing. This is a weapon that if you can land 2 beefy shots with it, you are in a fantastic position, but it is very unforgiving. You miss one shot, even the second shot is just not going to really be enough to be that significant. You have to rely on another weapon if you're going to use this thing. Now at number 9, possibly a high ranking, is the scoped assault rifle. Some people don't like this thing as a long range weapon, and I don't get it. I feel like it's just one of the best weapons in the game. Accurate, and you just kind of delete stuff. It might be a mouse and keyboard to controller thing, but to me, the scoped assault rifle just feels fantastic. Not quite as fantastic though as the suppressed assault rifle. So it used to be that this was a gold and purple way back in the day, and they lowered it to the blue and purple. I think this was also a thing in old school Fortnite. It makes sense. This is not a gold tier weapon, but it is a very good weapon. It just feels like it's got a little bit more than the assault rifle. And the fact that it's a little more quiet is just like a total bonus. Now, next up, we have the tactical shotgun. For a pretty basic weapon, this thing is great. This is like artisanal bread, jam, butter, toasted. It's good. It's nothing fancy, but it's fantastic. Reliable, consistent, classic go-to, a weapon you're gonna always want in your inventory, and that says everything. Now at number 6, I'm gonna rank the pump shotgun just slightly higher. You need to be a little bit better if you want to use the pump shotgun, and you do need a sort of follow-up weapon, but I think overall a good player will use a pump more effectively than a tac. Now the tac is nice because you don't have to sort of have that like submachine gun to follow up with. It is a little less forgiving, but I just think that the pump's lethality makes it just edge over. Now at spot number 5.5, I actually miscounted. This is the last weapon of the great tier. It is the P90. P90 is great. It shreds stuff. It's got a lot of ammo, and it's I don't know, magazine, clip, whatever. A little higher damage, shoots really fast. It's just such a good combo weapon with a shotgun. But to me, this weapon feels like it's enough to sort of stand out on its own and just do its thing. You pair it with a shotgun, great, but you can just rock a P90 and do a great job. Now, our top 5 weapons are going to be the top tier. Coming in at spot number 5.25. That's right, I didn't forget just one weapon, I forgot 2. We have the sniper, and that's going to be followed up right at number 5 with the heavy sniper. The heavy sniper is part of the second half of Season OG, and it's very good. Landing a big, beautiful, beefy shot feels amazing. So really, I guess if you want to look at my long range ratings, it's like, what does more damage? Because if you're making me land a really clutch shot anyway, I'm gonna want to do over 100 damage, you know? Landing a heavy sniper, oh, feels good. It's got a high skill ceiling like all the long range weapons, but I just feel like this one is actually a lot more worth it. I suppose criteria could certainly affect how you rank all these weapons. I don't know about you guys, but if I see either one of these two snipers, I'm picking it up and I am ditching the semi-auto. I am ditching the hunting rifle. At number 4, it's gonna be the rocket launcher. Just a tried and true. It just feels a little bit more precise. Can do some very big damage once you get up into the higher tiers. Its blast radius is better for destroying forts. Is this too high of a ranking? I'm open to that possibility. The rocket launcher feels pretty good in my hands. I rank it pretty high. At number 3, we have the heavy shotgun, which was removed after the first week. It's basically just like the better tac, right? And it feels a lot different from a tac. It's got like a little bit more range. It's a little bit more precise, but ooh, hitting a headshot with a heavy, whew. The only thing that feels better than that is hitting a headshot with a heavy pump. Oh, baby. This is the big damage. Added in the second week, this thing is a slugger. Big damage, strikes fear into the souls of everyone. Unless you lean towards like the tac and the heavy, I just don't think you're ever going to drop a heavy pump. The only thing, in my opinion, that is better than the heavy pump is really a gold scar. I don't know, man. It's a gold scar for a reason. It's pretty good. Oh, also, hey, what's up? Thanks for watching. Bye.